President-elect Joe Biden expected to call on governors to implement a mask mandate in their states once he is sworn into office.
Is a mandate the best idea, and can it work? Joining us now from the GOP Doctors Caucus is Texas Congressman Michael Burgess. Thank you for being here, sir. We'll go ahead and pull up the map here. As you can see, 34 states and D.C. have a statewide mask requirement. 16 states do not. Look, numbers are on the rise in a lot of areas in this country. Do you think that this is the right way to move forward?
I think a mask is an excellent idea, and in fact, I believe Governor Abbott has enacted a mask mandate in Texas, but here's always the difficulty with a mask mandate is how do you enforce it?
Right.
If you enforce it by arresting someone and putting them in jail where they may be a greater risk for the coronavirus, you're only going to spread it. So I think the public health aspect of this is important, and people need to be given the sound reasons why wearing a mask and the proper mask. Some of the face coverings I see make me wonder if someone is really serious or just perhaps making a different type of statement. But if you wear a mask, wear it correctly, cover both the nose and the mouth. It's not there to protect your chin. It's there to protect other people from you.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you know, there are about 5 different items on the Biden-Harris COVID-19 plan. The biggest one is, of course, that mask mandate that we just talked about. He's also calling to re-enter the World Health Organization. How do you feel about that?
Number one, I thought that was a great idea when we left, because never for years have I felt that that has provided. We've done more for them than they do for us. And then when you learn that really, in fact, they were there to help the Chinese communists who weren't informing us of the fact that the virus was around in the first place, yeah, that seemed like a logical reason to depart that organization. I'd like to see the plan as to how it would help us to get back in. But, you know, we're skirting around the big news. The big news is the fact that Donald Trump really put his muscle behind getting a vaccine developed. And it looks like we're right on the cusp of that day. In fact, the announcement yesterday by Pfizer, what great news. And it's, in my opinion, equivalent of the introduction of the Salk vaccine when the church bells rang and people cheered. Well, it was a stock market bell that was ringing and those people were cheering. But still, this is a big deal that this vaccine is now on the cusp of being available, looks to be highly effective, looks to be very safe. Let's get the last mile of this done. People need this vaccine. Every week that we delay, 10,000 people die in this country, and that's not acceptable.
Dr. Anthony Fauci last night said that they may have doses to give people by the end of November or the beginning of December. He said giving vaccines to people very likely by the end of the year, and that's good news. Would this be one of the biggest accomplishments for the Trump administration if this happens?
I don't think there's any question. And remember, all respect to Dr. Fauci, he was the one originally said it would take 18 months at least to get this vaccine developed. And that was, of course, at the end of January when the DNA sequence was first known. The fact that it's now been, it is done here as we sit here in November, that's a phenomenal rate of speed, and it appears to be a very effective vaccine. It appears to be very safe. And you know what? There's 4 other candidate vaccines in the pipeline that may come along in quick order. This is tremendous news, not just for this country, but worldwide. And then the administration, which committed to buying the doses before the FDA approved them. This is allowing the product to be, it takes some, you have to have some cold storage that you normally wouldn't have in a place that's going to stockpile a virus, and that work has been done. This administration has really leaned into this problem, unlike previous administrations with which I worked, and that included an administration that included Joe Biden. We did not see this type of response with H1N1. When the vaccine was finally produced, it was 2 months later before it was available for anyone. That would not be acceptable in this situation. Ebola, the trials after the initial clinical trials took over 5 years for the vaccine to be approved. We didn't have that length of time with this one. So the good news is this is getting done. Yeah. Looks like it is getting done truly at warp speed.
Congressman,
good for President Trump.
Yes, absolutely. We appreciate your insight. And yeah, we can all agree that this is good news, and we hope it stays that way. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Still ahead, President